you know, we're very much domestically focused this year. You know, if we expand in terms of our rider base, you know, our budget's a little bit, it gives us the opportunity to go and do maybe a 3 or 4 day stage race in France or Belgium. You know, again, it puts these guys in the shop window a little bit more, and we don't have any great aspirations to be a professional Irish outfit, but to replicate as close as we can the supports that go with a professional team, and to give them the best opportunities.
Are we heading to the Olympics? No?
Well, this guy might.
Yeah.
Go for Ireland, though. No, you wouldn't have to go for Ireland, wouldn't you?
Oh, he would,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. But you know, it's that's why teams like this are very important, because Adam, with all his results, he'd won a round of the national series here. He'd won a race in Belgium. He had 2 podiums in Belgium, but his exposure was very small to the international side of stuff, and we really struggled to get him a team last year, just because cycling, you look at, say, the Premiership, you have your divisions, but that's in every single country, you know, with football. Whereas in cycling, the Premiership, the second division, the third division is worldwide. So everyone in the world is fighting to get on these teams that have 20 on each one. Like, the pool is so small to make it there. And then all the French teams, the Swiss teams, the Italian teams, you have all the Russians, all the Ukrainians, all the Americans, everyone comes to Europe. You're fighting to get on these teams. So to actually get a spot where he is, it's so hard. And the problem is that Europeans don't know our calendar. And if you go with them with 10 wins in Ireland, they're like, what the hell is that? Whereas if he goes over and he rides, say, the Route Rangel with us, a 1 day, which is a 1.2, same category as the Ross, he finishes top 5 in it. Out of 180 guys, immediately like, geez, that guy's good, you know, we'll take him on, we'll give him a chance. And that's why it's important for a team like ours to just get that little bit bigger, to get the little bit of international stuff, to give them a platform to get it right, because I was quite shocked actually at how hard we had to get him a team, especially he was Ireland's best last year, you know, at his age. And a lot of people who have contacts in Europe tried to get him into different teams. So that's the challenge that Irish people have, and unfortunately you can't make it from Ireland. You have to go to Europe, to where the big scene is, you know.
How many teams are in the Ross next week?
There are about 26, 27, something like that. Yeah,
31.
31.
That's a mix of home teams and
Belgium.
There's 11 international teams starting, and they're 5-man teams.
Yeah. But you can imagine, like, we just ride on normal roads, so you can see in some of the pictures there'll be a peloton of around 200 people, a little bit less maybe. So we go down to Kerry, we go down to Cork, we go down to the smaller roads. And kind of going back to the plan earlier, a plan is one thing, but when you have 200 guys all wanting to win, and then the wind starts blowing, the rain starts falling, tight roads, downhills, turns, towns, you know, everything has an effect. So there can be a plan, but sometimes you just have to go. Yeah, the professionals, you know, all have radios, they can all speak to each other, but we don't. So sometimes you just we're not actually allowed to use radios. So
the rule they brought in.
The idea behind that was so we actually use our heads as opposed to talking to a mommy in the car. So we have to think for ourselves. So yes, that's the good thing about it, is we find each other in the bunch and we just talk to each other. We say, heck, it could be a simple thing as, how are you feeling? I had a great day 1 in Ulster, and the day 2 it was like I was a completely different rider. It was a disaster. It was one of the worst days, but that happens. And likewise, vice versa, you could have a disastrous day one day and then bounce back. So a plan is one thing, but we have to improvise on the road. So.
And how is it decided who's on the start line? I mean, there's 20 teams. Who gets to start?
Team-wise, is it? As in what teams get invited?
No. I mean, the race is about to start. Who's ready for the gun to go off?
Who's
getting the pole position?
Yeah.
There is no pole position, unfortunately.
Who turns up first?
200 guys.
The only way you can guarantee to be at the front in a stage race is pick up a jersey on one of the previous stages, and then you get presented with the jersey and you'll be at the front to start.
So like on day 1, the race is starting at 11.
It's every man for himself.
But actually, the Ross is a bit different. They have a plaque with your team, and generally what happens, the pro teams all get taken out first, and then all the county teams come along, and So you're brought up, but you see, most races start off in a neutralised section, so you could have 4 kilometres. The car
Or where you
stays.
would find a
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
or space, or whatever, yeah.
Like there's 200 guys and everyone's with an inch between each other.
It's really the sketchiest part of a race.
Yeah, actually, it is. Everyone's trying to move forward, and
But if you're talking about 160 or 180 kilometres,
It's a lot of
you know,
time.
where you are in the first 2K, it doesn't matter that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's not like
It'll find,
100 sprint.
it'll find its own place.
So do all the team members cycle all of the days?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. There's no relay in this.
You
Yeah.
can't do
And no subs.
So the way it works actually is they start. Usually it'll take between 3.5 hours to do each stage. They'll average around 46, 47 kilometres an hour for it. But there's a time cut. So in races, you know when you see the big bunch in race, because of drafting, you know everything gets sucked along with that. But if you happen to fall behind that, it's impossible for you to keep the same pace. The bunch is travelling about 50, 60 kilometres an hour. And when you're out on your own, to hold 44 is very, very hard. And that's why teams work on the front, because they're constantly changing. So if you lose that, and you lose time, and you end up 20, 30 minutes behind, they'll cut you from the race. So,
You lose a team member then?
yeah.
Even in that, in terms of positioning, like if you don't position yourself, say, you know, with 2 or 3 kilometres to go, if you're not inside the top 10 or 15, there's no way you have a chance of winning that stage. You know, what a lot of people don't see, what happens out on the road, is cycling is just as aggressive as a GAA match. You could be coming in the road there at 50 or 60 kilometres an hour, and some guy could just instantly swing a headbutt at you. And I know it sounds stupid, but he really could, and that's how a lot of the crashes and things happen. So the guys who are getting up on these fast stages, coming into the sprints, are usually the guys who've got the guts to come in the road, because they're fighting with their elbows and their shoulders and things. It's dangerous, like, but it's exciting, like.
Or they're crazy enough, which he is. And
Yeah. He's particularly good at
Yeah,
it.
that's where teammates come into play. Like, you know, so if say Dylan is feeling good, but you know he might be feeling a little bit nervous about going up through the bunch, he might call up Sean and say, "Sean, get me to the front," and Sean can kind of, you know, part the waters essentially for him, you know, and Dylan can kind of ride behind him and get to the front that way, you know.
And is
So.
there no penalties or anything for?
Oh, there is. No, that's control. That's someone you kick out of the race.
That's, yeah.
If you don't get caught, you're fine.
I'd say a good example of that was the last day of Ulster. It was very aggressive. There was a very quick run to the finish, and it was a very wide road running into a really narrow road. So obviously, it's almost like a vacuum. Any space that can be filled will be filled by riders. So big road, we all spread wide, and everyone is fighting to be, like Dylan said, in the top 10 coming into the finish.